1987, the Richmond Coliseum in Ohio. Vince McMahon rolls out the first ever Survivor Series? Next on Turnbuckle Talk.
Okay. They think they got the answers. I change the question.
Talk about your Psalms. Talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass.
I will come away with the championship belt and see new horizons.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest and new Intercontinental Champion.
Gentlemen, welcome back to Turnbuckle Talk. We're talking about 1987. We're talking about Thanksgiving Day. We're talking about Gorilla and Jesse on the call. We're talking about Madison Square Garden. We're talking about a new invention called the Survivor Series. For those of you who are not familiar with the WWF in this way, what's happening here is that we have a team captain, generally with a team of 4 other individuals by his side in an elimination style match. When you are pinned, when you lose, when you get counted out, you are out. The rest of your team remains to fight the battle that you couldn't. Boys, we have 4 total matches on the card, but it was well worth the 3 hours. I'll promise you. We see classic moments in this event.
Round 1.
EJ, we're going to start with you. Give me the best story arc of the newly crowned event Survivor Series.
I think, look, it's going to be controversial. Usually it's the restroom break. Usually it's your nacho break. But I'll tell you this, I think in the women's competition, the women's match, yes, there was one. Look, I think
Fabulous Moolah.
I think that story arc with her being the women's champ, she's not in this event, but she comes in as an icon. She comes in as the person that leads a trailblazer. She was a champ, depending on who you ask, for more than I think any male counterpart has ever held it for over 10 years. Look, one report is 10 years, which depends on whether you're asking WWF or you're asking NWA. 10 years or 28 years. Let that sink in. Holding the championship, never lose. Now, she did lose matches in between, but WWF doesn't want to recognize it because it was an NWA Women's Championship. So they would like to say it's 10 years, but minimum 10 years. I don't think there's a male counterpart to even have that. So her fighting in that. And folks, she was born in 1923. Let that sink in. And she's fighting in this event. She's 64 years of age.
Whoa.
Being a headliner in the women's division. Folks, you don't understand. And she fought well as if she was younger than that. She was 43. So no. I think that was one of the biggest story arcs. And then Sherry, prior to this event, had taken the straps from her. Oh my goodness. Forget this. Look.
That's overly impressive. And that might be the best first round we've ever seen on Turnbuckle Talk. Beef Luke, I'm going to you. Best story arc in the Survivor Series 1987.
I'm going to have to go with the non-wrestling, the business, the corner office method here with Vince McMahon pulling this event off. Think of what was going on at the time. You had Starrcade 87 on the same day. And Vince McMahon basically shoehorning his product in the pay-per-view market and basically letting the cable companies know, hey, if you don't air my event, you're not airing the big moneymaker event, WrestleMania. And him doing that, Vince pulling that move was so genius. And I'm going to tell you why it was so genius, because everybody gave Jim Crockett their word that they were going to air Starrcade. In the end, when Vince got through with everybody, guess how many markets aired Starrcade? Only 5.
Oh,
4 in the Carolinas and 1 in San Jose, California, because everybody else dropped Starrcade, the other cable companies. So my winner goes. My winner has to be, my most memorable one has to be Vince McMahon pulling this event off.
this is an incredible first round here. Bad Company Brown. Listen, this is dominant.
Those
Yeah.
definitely, those guys definitely turned it up a bit.
Story
Best story arc would be my man, Mr. Fuji and Demolition. And how I feel and how it looks is it was a total setup. You know, if you pay attention to Fuji's eye paint, you know, it's the same as what the Powers of Pain's colors were in that match. And you know, in that match, you know, you see Fuji at the end, you know, pull the cane out, trip up his guy, you know, former guy, you know, causing them to, you know, get that advantage, get that win, and Fuji actually leaves out, you know, with the Powers of Pain. So the changing of the, you know, of the management in that way, you know, that was a real big thing, you know, back in those days, especially as a kid. Like, oh, wait a minute, he just traded on him. Like, yeah. So that's where I'm going with this one.
Woo! Yo, hey Payne, we got one here. This first round has been one for the books. Survivor Series 1987. We're only in the first round, and guys are putting up career numbers in terms of our score here on Turnbuckle Talk. Where are you going for best story arc on the card?
Best story arc on the card for me would have to be Team Honky versus Team Macho. You have 2 of the future greatest IC champions in WWE, and some other ones that other future IC champions in the match. You have Ricky Steamboat teaming up with Macho.
Yeah.
That about, you know what I mean? So I think that was probably the best story arc. They had a great. I think Honky Tonk Man's team was sneaky good as well. You get Dangerous Danny Davis on his team, who was the crooked ref turned wrestler. You get King Harley Race, which to me, he's not the real king. It's always going to be Jerry Lawler for me. But and then you get Ron Bass and Hercules Hernandez, the king of the full Nelson. You know, so I think that story arc was really good because Honky Tonk tried to make it really personal with Macho. And Honky Tonk is a great heel, but Macho is the king of heels. And
yes, he is.
No matter how much Honky Tonk Man tried to poke the bear, Macho, I think Macho was 2 steps ahead of him on everything because he was always a great heel.
I always thought Jake Roberts was.
Yeah, Jake Roberts was a great heel too.
Guys, that's a very dominant first round. Let me read the numbers. We're going to throw them up on the screen here. EJ is going to end the first round with 18 points. Ben is going to end the first round with 18 points. Payne is going to end the round with 18 points. Sam is going to end the first round with 19 points. That's going to conclude our first round. Let's go right into the second round. I do want to talk best individual performances, and I think I'm going to go with you. I'm going to start with you here, B. Fluke. Talk to me about best individual performance in the Survivor Series.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh,
nice.
Bam Bam Bigelow. That was the first time we ever saw an agile man next to Kamala jump off his feet and do flips and drop kicks.
Well done.
Yep.
So I ended right there. Bam Bam Bigelow.
Okay, Bam Bam Bigelow is the best individual performance.
That's why I put him in the background right here.
Yeah, I dig it. I'm here for it. Bad Company Brown, talk to me about the best individual performance at the Survivor Series.
I would say the Big Boss Man. I kind of liked his interview. I think that right there. You know, him being kind of new to me in wrestling, and him being, you know, just at Hogan, you know, one of the biggest the biggest star at that point in wrestling. You know, I think that took the cake for me. You know, how he was just automatically just thrown to the forefront to, you know, be at Hogan.
This was Boss Man's first pay-per-view with the WWF, so good point
Mm-hmm.
there. We're going to go to you, EJ. Talk to me about your best individual performance at Survivor Series.
Oh, look, I think Honky Tonk Man has to get some kudos in a loss. Look, a lot of it, people don't even realize. Did anybody really know that the way it ended with the three winners of the event, the three remaining people in the event, it's Savage, that's Roberts, that's Steamboat.
Mm-hmm.
Honky won his IC title off of Steamboat. Honky hit Roberts, had a feud in the snake pit. And Honky called himself the greatest intercontinental champion ever. And that was a feud with Savage, who hated that fact.
Yeah.
Let alone Savage got knocked over the head with that same guitar in a match.
Yep.
Where prior, they're like, hey, Elizabeth, get out of the way.
Yeah.
Elizabeth comes down, gets Hogan. We know the rest is history. Help, Mega Powers. Anyway, Honky Tonk realizing, wait a minute, these are the exact three people I have a feud with right now. Let's preserve our health, stay injury-free, and maintain this IC title, because I'm going to have to give it up because I'm
very smart move.
Very smart move. I'm getting
walks
out of
right
here.
out. So yeah, the fact that the event had the three remaining winners or the people remain standing be the exact same people who have a current feud with him going on. He actually probably had the most people lined up against him in the whole Survivor Series. Usually it's one against another. Who's the opposing guy against you? He was against three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
You know, that's that.
Well done, EJ. Well done. Payne, we're going to wrap this round up with you. Best individual performance in the Survivor Series in 1987.
You see, what sucks about this, and not to say that the question sucks, but it disqualifies any of the tag teams in the tag team Survivor Series match, because now you're taking it away from them because they were a team. But let's go to that, right? Every team was impressive. Of course, my all-time favorite, Demolition, was impressive. The Hearts were impressive. The Wild Stallions were impressive. You also had Rick Martel, future star, who impressed in this match. But one of the teams I never was really a fan of, but they were really impressive in this match, were the Killer Bees. Pulling the old switcheroo. Faces didn't really do dirty stuff like that, but they pulled the old switcheroo at the end, putting the mask on and pulling out the win for the team in the end. I think that was really big. And they had a lot of really athletic moves. Wrestlers were pretty stiff and limited to a certain amount of moves back then, but the Killer Bees were very athletic, and they had the look and the moves and everything like that. So, but they really impressed me in this match. So I'm going to go with the Killer Bees.
Here's the thing here. Payne has just hit one of our secret bonuses, mentioning the Killer Bees. This is the first time in a pay-per-view where we saw a babyface cheat in a match. You don't see that with the WWF up to this point. So that's absolutely worth the bonus here. We're going to give Payne that bonus in the scoring tally. EJ is going to wrap that round with 10 additional. So we're going to bring his total up to 28 to end the first two rounds. Sam had 6 in that round. That's going to bring his total to 25.
Oh, shit.
Ben has 5 in that round. That's going to bring his total to 23. Payne with the bonus and his additional 18 from the first round rolls up to 32. We have Payne and EJ moving to the championship round. B Fluke, parting shots before we send you out of here.
May the best man win.
Okay, well, we like that. Short and simple. So, B Fluke, we appreciate you playing. Let's move.
Arriba.
Bad Company Brown.
As I watch these poor souls, I will be back, and I'm coming for this. I'm coming for this. I'm coming. I'm coming. B Fluke, you got 2. I'm out of here.
Bad Company Brown is out, and now we are sitting on our championship match. Payne Gretzky, the Mouth EJ. Hey, Payne, good job by hitting the point on the Killer Bees. You know, it's one of the things that's interesting about this that we didn't touch on, as we're going to dive into Tell Me Something New for our championship, is that, well, I'll hold it because you might bring it up and Tell Me Something New. Check me in this. So let's go to the championship round. Let's start with you, Payne, after hitting that bonus. Tell me something new about the Survivor Series that I didn't know.
I have a couple things here. One thing isn't really new. Andre the Giant was the first sole survivor of the Survivor Series.
Okay.
Something else new, Survivor Series didn't have an individual match until about 89. Or it may have been 90. I can't remember if it was 89 or 90. But Survivor Series was always teams up until that point. So I wish they would get back to that. They've adapted the War Games and Survivor Series type thing now, and it's more individual matches now. But please, WWF, WWE, get back to the original Survivor Series format. And yeah, that was really all I found, was that the individual match didn't happen until about 89, and I think it was Undertaker or something like that.
Okay. EJ, tell me something new about the Survivor Series.
Well, I got a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm not sure if everybody knew that Miss Rockin' Robin actually had family in that.
Absolutely did. This is great. Go ahead, EJ.
Did anybody know she was the half sister of Jake the Snake Roberts?
You're correct.
Didn't know that.
Correct. Keep going.
She actually was a sister of another WWF person in Sam Houston.
Yes, talk that talk, EJ.
Talk
that talk, EJ. Yeah, you want right now. You want one right now, EJ. You want one right now.
My goodness. Now look, also related to another wrestler in another federation through marriage, one called Baby Doll. But I digress. The real one, but also an interesting and maybe a comical one that people probably don't know unless they actually watched the event. And you can't find this in other places. $1 Million Man
don't do the job
in his little promo
comes
out, and what would people do for the money?
Mm-hmm.
He wants to know what people can do for his money. And he gets a little kid to bounce a basketball. I'm sorry, kid. When you don't get the job done, you don't get the money. Listen, another kid, let's do some push-ups. 9, not good enough. Get these kids out of the pool. But my favorite one, I want you to come up here, woman, and act like a dog. Woof. 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 With a little more emphasis there, ma'am. Woof. All right, Virgil, do you think she did a good job? No, I don't think so. No, ma'am, you don't get the money. Why would somebody need the money when they're the wife of the owner of the WWF?
Yeah.
Did you know that was actually Linda McMahon?
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah.
Listen. If you never watched that event, you would never know. Listen, Linda McMahon to me was a little known fact that she was on the card, but as a fan.
That is the first perfect round in Turnbuckle Talk history. He just put up 40 in a round. which is unheard of. Payne, you are clearly dropped here in this round of Survivor Series. Parting shots before you take off.
Hey, there was nothing I could do with that one. I was up against the ropes with that one. I hands down, I got to give it to you.
Payne is now out of here. EJ, you're going to hit the Savage elbow from the top. You are standing on the top of the turnbuckle. The floor is yours.
Listen, folks, you got to come with the receipts if you want to be a champ. I hold the title. Why? Ripped from the throat of these ham and eggers. Yes, these ham and eggers, these heathens. My goodness. You know, if you don't want to come correct, don't come at all. Stay your ass home. And I'm going to tell you something. This event, Survivor Series, one of the best startup events that I ever seen. Women's division, excellent matches. Had a 64-year-old in the contest. Had a sensational Sherry coming in there. Didn't really fight singles competition that much, but she was a lot of times a manager in there. You got Savage's team versus Honky's team. Honky against all his adversaries in that match. And Andre the Giant standing tall. People, you know what? Nobody did mention that he actually predicted that he was going to be the last man standing in that match earlier in his promo. Yes. Nobody said that, did they? Listen, I'm tired of watching these damn ham and eggers sit here with their silly cries. Well, what you going to do when your whole soul dies?
Okay. Okay.
EJ with the walk-off victory there.
He definitely outdid me because I was going to actually flip it on you.
No, it's
I was
always
going to flip it and ask you a question.
So you can ask
left
me
one out, champ.
So here's the kicker.
One
As
more.
we wrap up Turnbuckle Talk, we appreciate you guys tuning in. This has been a great episode.
A
couple of things that were missed. Let's stay here. A couple things that are missed. First off, there's two things here really related to this. I'm going to hit you with three total. We see 4 of the greatest wrestling managers side by side for the first time ever in one event. It's incredible when you see the Doctor of Style, Mr. Fuji, Jimmy Hart, Bobby the Brain Heenan, all working together.
And
That's
Johnny V.
incredible.
Johnny V was his last match.
Was Johnny V there in that match?
It was his last match.
I didn't see Johnny V. So you're talking about 5.
Yeah.
Of the greatest. Let me add some.
You also talk the felony.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
I got a note, about Slick here.
No. Let me throw in my point about Slick before you go. So I knew you were going to try this.
There was a crime against him committed. There was a crime committed against him in that match.
Oh boy, yeah.
He got pickpocketed by Elizabeth.
Yep.
There was a crime committed in that.
Wait, what?
He got pickpocketed by Elizabeth. There was a crime in that. Isn't that where she went to get the key?
Man. Oh man.
Oh. Yeah.
She went in his property. That's his property. She stole from him.
Sure did. One more thing too. I was trying to get at you, champ. This guy made his debut that night too. He was the one who kissed DiBiase's feet. Rob Van Dam.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Was it him too? Oh man. I was like, because usually when they bring the people from
put it in the chat.
It's somebody in the
That's why I said I was the guy who came out to talk trash after you win the title.
Oh,
I was trying to be Zeus.
Oh man.
The question was after that. After Survivor Series, was Ron Bass ever in anything after that?
No.
Wow.
Because you do know he was the first official person pinned in Survivor Series ever.
Also in the promos, my background right there, superstar Billy Graham got written out of the script because he got injured. And he got replaced by Magnificent Morocco.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, obviously the host has something on Slick. I was just gonna, I'll hold off on that.
Well, it's only to say that the Doctor of Style is the only manager to have wrestlers walk in on his music. You don't see that in wrestling, right?
Yeah.
You don't see that after him.
And he had one of the best theme songs in history.
Yeah, he did.
And Michael Hayes in him.
Yeah. You know what I love? He was brought in quickly. He was in other federations. He had Butch Reed with him a long time.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Prior to WWF, but he comes over and Freddie Blassie, look, he takes some of those wrestlers, and he's got Hercules, he's got Butch Reed. Who am I missing here? Well, he had
Akeem with him, obviously.
He did have Akeem, but I'm like, his other the guys he had.
When he first started, he had the Bolsheviks.
The Bolshevik Nikolai, yeah. So Iron Sheik Nikolai. So that's how when I really paid attention, Slick is there with those guys, but obviously they were under previous ones. But there was actually a storyline written in where they're sold to Slick. He's a benefactor.
Right.
He's like, oh, I bought these guys and now they're mine. And then he goes and sells off Hercules to Heenan.
Right.
But
and there's actually a storyline there where he tries to buy Bigelow from Oliver Humperdinck.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't forget, Slick got wrestling ties too. His father was Rufus Jones.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's Slick's father.
Okay.
So he had wrestling ties already in the business.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we got all these fun facts about Slick.
Uh-huh.
We got all these fun facts about Slick. It's only right that we sign off with his signature sign out.
Somebody got to put the music on. Yes.
It's a job, soul, bro. A job.
Mr. Wizard added the music
video
for the Doctor of Slough. Come on, man. That's how we
Knock
got
it to the Slick stuff.
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
Oh, man.
What you talking about, man?
Survivor Series 1987. Like, follow, subscribe. We're going to be here for a while doing the golden era of wrestling. We hope you guys enjoy the journey. Until the next time.
What you talking about?